Hello and welcome to today's review. Today we are talking again about Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. Today we're going to talk about Episode 5, Gone with a Trace. Now, this was kind of what I was looking for when they first announced that Season 7 was coming on Disney+. It's a story about Ahsoka Tano, and it's an intro. It's a prelude, and that makes me happy and sad at the same time because I wanted a little bit more out of my Ahsoka stories. But this is, of course, going to be a 4 episode arc. So if you like Ahsoka, hold back a little bit because you're going to want more when you're done with this. You're going to want it. So wait a week or two, probably 3, and binge it all together. That's my initial thought with it. But there are some good things in this episode. Most predominantly for me, this is set on Coruscant on level 1313. The fabled area in Coruscant that was meant to get its own video game called Star Wars 1313. And if my memory serves, it was also going to be the setting for Star Wars Underworld, the live action TV show that was in development before Disney bought Lucasfilm. And from an aspect of seeing 1313, this was actually fun. You get to see how they are doing in the lower levels, like level 1313 is a lower level. And then, if you don't know about how Coruscant counts, it's as close to the physical planet itself as level 1, and then you work your way up. Every level is counted. So we're at the 1313th level from the planet. Ahsoka, of course, is from the upper levels, and we see how she feels out of her element with people that she, I wouldn't say thinks is trustworthy, but definitely they don't know anything about what's really going on with the Clone Wars, who started the Clone Wars, and what's going on. They blame, of course, the Jedi. So you kind of start to see the beginning of the Emperor propaganda, that stand where in Revenge of the Sith, Emperor Palpatine comes up and says, well, I'm Emperor, and it's the Jedi's fault, and we're going to reorganize into a new Galactic Republic for greater security. And you can kind of see how the people just kind of go along with it because they think it's the Jedi, and when he blames the Jedi for everything, they just go along with it. And it makes sense from a dictatorship point of view with the propaganda. But I'm kind of getting off base here. Let's go back to this episode. We get a couple new characters that are con artists, or at least one is, and a second one that's just kind of like the younger sister and just kind of going along because she doesn't know any better. And Ahsoka tries to teach her a little bit, and I think Ahsoka learns a little bit from her as well. All in all, this episode is one that I would recommend that you sit on, you wait, and you see what next week brings and see where this story goes. This is an introduction to a couple new characters, and start sowing the seeds of the conflict that is going to lead Ahsoka presumably to the Siege of Mandalore. But with that being said, have you seen any of the Star Wars Season 7 yet? If you have, go ahead and let me know in the comments below which episode is your favorite. And of course, if you like the content that I bring to you, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And until next time, have a good night.